Oh, broadcast is live.
All right, Brother Keith. I think maybe we are live.
Let's see if anybody's watching so far.
Waiting for it to come
our
up
monitor
on
here.
my. There we go.
The duck is watching.
Nice. Oh, right. I'm going to share to a group. Ooh. Let's go to this one here. Yay. And let's go to.
Yeah, I'm not going to play around with my phone because show will be over before I figure out how to do it.
Well, you know what? I just waited till it came up on the like on my notifications down there, and it looks like we are here.
All right.
Let's turn this up a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we're live. All right.
Hey, Joel. Boy, this is weird. Usually there's a line in between it, and you got a nice house in between. I got this in between. And all right, man. Good to see you.
And we can't actually understand each other.
No, right.
We're talking over each other, etc., etc.
And if you notice, I think this is Andros. Andros is where Themis's family, his mother is from.
Ah,
nice
okay.
little. Oh, it's great, beautiful place.
And what country?
Greece. I'm sorry.
Greece?
Right. Greece, and it's just like the whole country, Greece. From our trip from, I think it was March 2 years ago. Might even be 3 by now. I think it was 2
Time
years
flies,
ago.
man.
Yeah, crazy. But anyway, hey, it's time for Smack and Jack. Yeah, we're back in the studio. Joel's got a whole lot of stuff lined up for you. Now, I got a bunch of stuff. I got to tell you, I had such a great show planned. And then I don't know what happened. I think I fell asleep on Sunday. So, hey, get your coffee. I forgot I got my soundboard back.
Yes. All right, let's get this.
Yeah, we got a good
man.
show. Yeah, let's grab your coffee, sit back, relax, and we will be right back.
Here we go.
From the Somerset Studios in Westchester, Pennsylvania, it's Smack and Jack Live with your co-hosts Keith and Joel Slenderman.
Hey, good morning, Jim.
And here we are.
Very good to see you again. Joel, I thought we were going to...
Jim, Dan, good to see you.
Oh, yeah, Dan's on.
Yeah.
Hey, Joel, I just figured out, I was doing a little bit of cleaning of, what's that called when you clean things? You put them all into this thing that goes around. You add water and...
trash can? Clothes wash.
Yes. I was doing that, and I was going through some stuff that, some shirts that you don't wear forever, they just seem to discolor sitting there.
Yes.
Maybe people throw stuff out before. But anyway, I was getting rid of some stuff that I hadn't worn forever. And it turns out I've been a football fan, an Eagles fan for quite a while.
For much longer than you actually thought.
I just tried to give this to my brother Joel. He said put it on eBay. Look at that.
Yeah, if we have any viewers interested in this 2004 NFC champion shirt. Now, this is the year they went to the Super Bowl and lost.
Who did they play against?
Who do you think? Tom Brady and the Patriots.
The Patriots. Are you kidding me? Wow. And then when did we win the Super Bowl?
That would be 2017.
So 13 years later, we did it. It took us 13 years. Yeah. Well, anyway, so this shirt is almost as old as some of the kids watching. Some of the kids that go to your school.
Yep.
Never worn. Yep. So anyway, check that out.
Yeah, 2004. So he tried to pawn it off on me when I walked in the door.
And he said, I got enough cleaning rags.
I'm a pretty trendy guy. I can't be walking around.
It's something from that long ago.
2004 on it.
I have the other NFC or what the conference thing from when we won, but I've been wearing it for 3 years, so it's all tattered and it looks
it looks like it's been worn.
I'm afraid if I put this on and walk into any bar, doesn't have to be sports bar, but just any bar with a TV on it, I might get pummeled to death.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try selling it.
Speaking of faded, you notice my hat here, Keith, is very faded and coming apart. I'm going to have to switch over to another hat that I have that I've not worn very much.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you wash that, or is that just sitting in the car?
No, I never let it sit in the car.
Okay.
I wear it. I wash it.
Okay.
The washing really kind of beats it up.
Yeah.
Especially when you put it in the dryer, it beats it up. But Anyway, so well, that's a nice.
Before we go any
okay.
farther,
Okay.
I might as well tell you the origins of this.
Okay,
This used to be a bandana.
get out.
All the washing, and now it's forget it. All right, what are we doing on today's show, Joel?
If anybody followed that one, just let me know.
That was
we love to
hilarious.
hear about that.
That was
in the,
hilarious.
Yeah. So
It is cool shirt. Thank you.
All
Okay,
right.
yeah. What do we got?
Well, we just we finished up the 4th of July weekend last week. It was a nice holiday weekend.
do we thank her? Are we
Oh yeah, right. Sorry, yeah, keep me in line here. Last week we did have a very special guest.
Yes.
Josh Kirkendall.
Yes.
Yeah, our cousin from California, and he did create an animated picture of us from one of the pictures from our website. And I did want to share that because we forgot to share it last week.
Right.
So this is what that particular drawing looks like.
Yes.
I thought that was
Very
pretty
nice.
cool. So that's
And it was taken from one of the pictures that we'd done over in the park, and I
Yes.
couldn't remember what shirt, which one was me. And Joel reminded me just to look at the that area there.
yeah. If you notice, there's a little bit more of a
Dome, so to speak.
yes.
Yeah. I guess
and
that's
a little bit more moon situation there. So thank you, Josh. Josh, it was great. Actually, that was the first time I met my cousin Josh. Now, of course, he's the son of my first cousin.
I believe that's second cousin.
Is that second cousin?
I think that's.
So they're California folk,
Yes.
and
And we're going to see him now and then. We're talking about getting a West Coast correspondent.
Yeah.
So
So
maybe
he'll
we
kind of
get
be
some weather or some jokes here and
keep
there.
us up to date on
yeah.
what's going on in California,
Yeah.
what the climate's like, what the actual climate is like.
Yeah, because we're almost a nationwide show now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if Josh watches today, we will be a nationwide show.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, Keith, let's move
All right,
on. Thank you, Josh.
go. Yeah.
So we had a nice 4th of July weekend last week, but there was some tragedy, as it seems like there always is around 4th of July
Yes.
with the fireworks and so forth. But this caught my attention because it had to do with a goaltender from a National Hockey League team. It's well, let's just turn to it here and see what we have. I have to. So this young gentleman was at his coach's house for a party, and I'm not exactly sure how it all went down, but he was in the hot tub. They were setting off some fireworks, and apparently something started to tip as far as where they were setting them off, and they started going right over the hot tub. So he tried to kind of get out of the tub and get away, apparently. And from what I understand from reading this, the firework went right into his chest, and then he died later from trauma, chest trauma. And so forth. So 24 years old, he'd only played a few games.
Columbus Blue Jackets.
Yeah. So he's 24, played a few games in the National Hockey League. He'd been playing in the minor league for a number of years. Obviously an accomplished athlete.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, a young person who died because of a firework mishap, which happens quite frequently. So I thought, let's do a little research. This is a little bit of research from last year. So this is the 2021 report from what happened last year. So a couple safety tips. Now, I know this is a little bit late going over this now. Maybe we should have done this in the show,
What was the 4th? That was 2 weeks ago. Was the 4th last week?
Today is the 10th. So
the 4th was last. No, well, that's okay.
Yeah. So,
we're still in the same year.
Yeah, normally we're way off.
Yes.
Never allow children to play with or ignite fireworks. Well, of course, right? You might think that's common sense. Make sure fireworks are legal in your area. Keep a bucket of water nearby. Light fireworks one at a time. Never try to relight or pick up fireworks that have not ignited. Never use fireworks while impaired by alcohol or drugs. We're going to come back to that point. In just a minute here. Did I get that other point? Maybe I forgot to open that up. And let's see, down here, 50% increase in death and injuries compared to 2019. So in 2020, during COVID, there was many more incidences, I guess you could say. 15,000 people were treated in ERs for fireworks injuries in 2020. And then in 2019, there was 12 deaths. 2020, there was 18 deaths. So a staggering number. And you know what? Check this out. Sparklers. Remember those sparklers that we used to get as kids? 900 injuries due to sparklers. And then firecrackers, 1,600. I remember Dad was never real happy when we got those sparklers.
No.
Because they get, I mean, they're
hot. Yeah.
They're
I mean,
like-
it's metal. I don't know. It's what kind of metals they are, but it's the same as, it's just that they're not exploding.
Yeah, and is that like gunpowder? That's all.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
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 If you touch something like that, which is probably what happens. I guess the kids are interested and they touch it and go yowls.
Yeah, and it's on that metal. I don't know if they're still on that metal.
I think they are.
Bar.
I think they're
And-
exactly the same as they were. When
They
we were
basically
kids.
look like welding. If you ever see those welding things, which they probably are very similar, only not quite as heat intensive.
Right.
But
Right. So and just the other day, well, after the 4th, I said, boy, maybe we should have gotten the girls at least some sparklers to have during the 4th, and we of course didn't and all that stuff. But anyway, on this particular report here, let's see if I can find it. They went through a number of accidents, and I'm not going to read all of them to you, but I did find it interesting that getting back to up a little bit. There we go. Getting back to our impairment situation here. Sorry, I don't have this ready to go, folks. I forgot to open this. Okay, so these are the related deaths for 2020. At the end of many of these, okay, this is all right. So this was a 28-year-old female who had in her lap, she had one of these, explosives that apparently she lit, I don't know, and then couldn't get it out of her lap or something like that. And it blew up the entire car.
She's in a car and it blows up.
Yeah, a
her
toxology
midsection.
screen indicated the presence of illegal substances in the victim's system. Okay. Let's see. The 40 male fired inside a homemade mortar. Okay. Homemade stuff. Again, indicated presence of illegal substances in the victim's system. On and on. Let's see. The illegal substances down here. There's one of these where, a young man, or mostly male, was holding it out the window, lit it and held it out the window, thinking, I guess, that it would shoot off out of the car window.
Right.
Well, it just kind of blew up in his hand and killed him. So anyway, these are, these are all preventable.
Yes, and back when I had a house and a pool, and we used to do 4th of July parties quite a bit. They got a little out of hand, and we were lucky to. We had a dear friend of mine used to get them. I don't know where she got them from, but pretty sizable. They call them mortars, the ones that go flying up in the air.
Yeah.
And they're
explosives.
They're bombs.
We
were lucky. There was always tons of us. Themis's kids were always running around, and we were just lucky that nothing ever happened. And people are not everybody's lucky.
Not everybody is so lucky in that regard.
Talking about that last week, I think it was off the show that you said you had never been into that really.
Right.
And I'd say, even when you find them and you light them yourself, they're not quite as big as the municipal ones. So I like to go look for, a town that's having, the big ones that shakes the whole car. You're a quarter mile away.
Exactly.
Nothing's going to happen.
Yeah. So. Unfortunately, one of those stories there that we did not read happened with professionals. They were setting up in a barn. They had the shelves going. They were putting in electronic matches, which is apparently how they were all triggered.
Okay.
And somehow one ignited as they were setting them up. And then, of course, the whole barn blew up. And,
I just saw it was this past weekend. I don't know if it was down the Jersey Shore. A truck exploded. It was on the beach. Did you see that on the news?
Yeah. Ocean City, New Jersey. Maryland.
Was it?
I saw that. I saw that while I was researching this. Yeah.
A pickup truck or something like that. But I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
But it was during the day. And that was kind of.
Okay.
All right, moving on.
So what do we have here?
Death and carnage.
Love the graph. Oh, thanks, Dan. Joe says, what about throwing M80s into a pool?
Well, that's another thing that I did in a past life. And that was an M80. It might have been a quarter stick, Joe, which is, what's that, double of an M80? But yeah, that was.
Is that close to like dynamite?
Well, it is. M80 is an eighth of a stick of dynamite.
Okay.
So yeah, quarter stick is yeah. And
So
that's what they are.
even that right there kind of scares me a little bit.
Yeah.
Just talking about your
Oh, those- well, I
something
mean,
that's
firecracker.
essentially dynamite.
Firecracker can still take your finger off, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But an M, you know, they look like there's little cherries, you know, and that's just full of
Right.
gunpowder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It's
Yeah.
so no, I have no idea what you're talking about, Joe. But thanks anyway for throwing that in.
For bringing that up.
Yeah.
Okay, folks, we're going to move on to the world's tallest horse. Unfortunately, the world's tallest horse passed away just over the last week or so.
No, that has nothing to do with shenanigans with fireworks. I have.
Has nothing to do with shenanigans.
Horses get into that kind of
as far
stuff.
as I know. Are
Society.
they big,
Well, they like you know, they party now and then.
Okay, so Big Jake, world's tallest horse, dies in Wisconsin at age 20. So this is in Poynette, Wisconsin. Poynette?
How's that pronounced
Deb,
there, Deb? Yeah,
yeah,
yawn
Deb,
today.
get on here. Let me know. So this is north of Madison.
Okay.
So I believe that's a little west of where our family is up there. But anyway, 20-year-old Belgian named Jake, Big Jake, lived on Smoky Hollow Farm in Poynette. Felicia Gilbert, wife of the farm's owner, Jerry, said Big Jake died 2 weeks ago, but declined to give the exact date of death. The Associated Press found on Facebook. Would rather not remember him by a date. Big Jake was 6'10", weighed 2,500 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah. The Guinness Book of World Records certified him as the world's tallest living horse in 2010. Jerry Gilbert told the TV that Big Jake was a superstar and truly magnificent animal. He said Big Jake was born in Nebraska and weighed 240 pounds when he was born. Wow. Can you believe that? 240 pounds at birth, about 100 pounds heavier than a typical Belgian.
Almost double the weight of a regular Belgian.
Yeah. He said plans to memorialize Jake by
that is a big waffle.
Very good.
Sorry.
So anyway,
yeah, wow.
sad. So actually, before I go back here, I wanted to go to an average. The average horse lives to about 25 to 30 years.
Okay.
And what does that mean in human years is that a horse that's 24 is about 70 years old. A horse that's 25 is about 73 and so forth. So this horse, I guess in human years, wasn't quite, we'll say 70. Yeah, but, probably
And
up there.
that's about the lifespan, isn't it? 70, 75 of humans now?
Is that what it is?
I think it is.
The average
yes.
lifespan of
I
humans?
believe, yes. If anybody.
That is quite possible.
So that would be, that's an average.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I found that to be a,
Yeah.
a sad story.
I think your car, your van might weigh 3,000 pounds.
Could you imagine that, having an animal that you're taking care of weigh like essentially the same or more than your car?
I guess you'd stop complaining about how much gas costs. What would it cost to feed something like that?
I'm sure you get plenty of gas from a horse like that.
Shut up!
Oh,
anyway,
but yeah, just think.
Anyway.
I mean, how many pounds of grain and
I'm sorry if I did not show. There's a picture of him standing next to that horse.
Yeah.
Right here.
Oh,
Did we see that one there?
No.
I mean, look how the back end of that horse is higher, taller than he is. We assume that he's an average size man. Yeah.
So his back end has got to be close to 6 foot.
Right. So his head's got to
And
be.
his head's
Well, I guess Anyway, but pretty amazing, huh?
Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
They're beautiful animals. It would be
Keith,
neat
we're
to
moving
see.
on.
Yes.
Do you know that there were 7 people sent back to Canada for crossing into our country through a library?
Well, Canada, and not too many people know this, but has really had almost like an apartheid type regime, or I'm not real political, what was the Nazis? A fascist regime. They seem like these nice. Hockey. You want some back bacon?
They put on a nice face.
Yeah,
don't they?
but they're tough people. So exactly how were they trying to get out of the country, Joel? Wow. We need that. We need an airplane crash. Do we have an airplane crash here?
All right, let's take a look at this one. So, Border Patrol sends back 7 Canadians who use library lawn to enter U.S. Before the pandemic, Canadians were allowed to visit the Haskell Free Library without having to visit a customs post. So this particular library in Vermont is actually built right on the border between Vermont and Canada. And apparently it was built that way purposely. So 7 people apprehended after entering Vermont illegally from Quebec by driving across the lawn. Okay, now you're driving across the lawn, so that's a big giveaway.
You're right.
Right there, right? That's that's a felony.
Yeah. Trespassing or something.
Of a library built in both the United States and Canada were immediately returned to Canada, the Border Patrol said. Surveillance videos released by the patrol shows the car drive by the Haskell Free Library and Opera House on July 4th, nearly hitting a car as it turns onto the street in a Vermont community, the Vermont community. Agents apprehended the vehicle a short time later as it headed south on Interstate 91. The occupants were from Canada, France, and Romania. So they weren't just from Canada. So that's certainly a little tip off there. These international, you're not quite sure what's going on.
Right.
They were returned to Canada under special public health rules intended to minimize the spread of the virus that causes COVID-19. So we can read on and on about that, but so the border was closed, but apparently this was deliberately built straddling the border in the early 20th century so people from both countries can use it.
Okay.
So apparently there's a Canadian side, there's an American side, and they can actually meet and greet each other in there.
Goodwill gesture, so to speak, gone horribly wrong.
On this particular occasion. Yeah. So very interesting. Had we known about that library when my family and I were up in Vermont, what was that, 2 summers ago? We were in Massachusetts, and we visited Vermont, but we'd have to go way up top. But 2 years ago, when we went to Quebec, had we known about that particular library, we may have taken a side trip to go check it out.
And it just goes to show, what's his name when he's getting, I forget his name, Turnip or something like that, it being reinstated this in July.
Always forget this man's name.
He's building another wall in Canada. Who would have ever thought that you would?
Well, maybe that's where he should be building the wall.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now all these, the refugees from South America, it's not that far to swim up along the coast.
No.
Go across Canada.
Right. It's like the border over the pond.
Yeah, what's that going to take you? Like 2-3 years tops?
Yeah.
Boom, right through the library. Yep. I'm getting a book out.
Yeah, I'm getting a book. I'm going to check out some of the videos.
Me and my 30 of my
going on.
Hey, they're missing our show. We were going to do a motorcycle segment, and
all these motorcycles running by out here. Yeah. All right, Keith. Let's move on. If you're getting anything out of the show today, folks, which I am,
smack the like button.
Smack the like button. Love the love button. Give us a share, if you don't mind. You think that's okay?
Yes.
Remember, once you share, did we talk about that last week? Once you share, you can't take it back. Like,
oh, really?
Like share and share alike.
Wow, that's
share
good,
and share and unlike.
A lot of my friends or people that I've known decided I made a wrong choice. But you can't make a wrong choice here on Smack and Jack. Once you like us for good.
That's right.
That's the way it should be, ladies and gentlemen.
And that is a good choice. That is a good choice. All right, shall we get on the trivia?
Okay, yes. Let's do
all right, so we've bored many of our viewers already. We're gonna finish up here with Big Jake, the average height, Border Patrol. All right, let's move on to trivia, Keith. The trivia this week. Whoops, of course I just closed out of it. Yeah, that was silly. Trivia. Yeah, sorry about that one. Let's go back to categories here, and we're going to do.
We did that one last week.
That one. Yeah, we're not going to do the.
No, let's not do that again.
There we go. All right. So yeah, let's get it screen shared so people can see it and read along with us. All right, and then we'll come back. So those who are out there in viewership land, we'll do 4 today.
Okay.
Yeah, you can read from up here. It's a little bit bigger, right?
Okay, number 1. Just to remember, this is number 1. You put number 1 down and then the answer, and then we'll know what we're all talking about here. In what major Canadian city would you find Lord Stanley's Gift Monument? Now we all know even I know who Lord Stanley is.
Yeah.
He had a goblet, Stanley glass, something. I think he had something to do with vessels. These coffee mugs.
Tupperware.
Tupperware.
Yeah,
Lord
here's
Stanley's
Tupperware, yeah.
Tupperware. Yes. In what major Canadian city would you find Lord Stanley's gift monument? That's
Okay,
number
that's
one.
number
Number
one.
two, what is the only Canadian province without a natural border? Natural border. Only Canadian province without a natural
What are you thinking
What
for
is-
that one?
It's a natural border. I don't know what that. What's
Yeah.
that? Water, I guess.
I assume that's what that would be.
Yeah. Okay. The Canadian province of Quebec, not Quebec. It's Quebec.
Quebec.
Only because I watch a little bit of hockey. Is bordered to the west by which other province? Canadian province of Quebec is bordered on the west by which other province?
I have a guess on this one.
Number 3. Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about geography of Canada.
Yeah.
Other than it's south.
Shut up!
Originally from Quebec, what food comes from the local fresh slang word for a mess? I don't know what that is. Okay, what's that? Number 3?
Yeah, that was 4.
That was 4. Okay.
That was 4. We were going to stop at 4.
do
We
4,
could go
okay.
on and
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
but yeah, what was it for number 4? Originally from Quebec, what food comes from the local French slang word for a mess? All right. So we're going to let you ponder on that,
Okay.
and
I might have an answer.
and
Might. I'm thinking about
Keith,
something
shall we
on that.
get on to this day? Oh no, we're going to do jokes and then this day.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's do
Do
some
that
jokes.
order?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Mhm.
All right, so
Let's get the drums ready.
all right, where is my? We're not going to screen share this because I'd be giving away all the answers.
Right.
You can't look up there. All right, Keith. These all pertain to libraries.
Okay.
What book did the librarian take out for her cat?
What?
The Prince and the Pauper.
Oh, the pauper.
What advice do you get from a librarian?
What?
Believe in your shelf. Joke number 3. We only have 2 more, folks. Why can't you go to the world's biggest library?
Why?
It's always overbooked.
Shut up. Good. Good.
And last one. This is my favorite one, of course. Where does the library keep books about Bigfoot?
Where?
In the large print section. All those jokes did not come from the Jokepedia. They
very
came
good,
from
yeah.
earlybirdbooks.com.
Okay, yeah.
Earlybirdbooks.com. Yeah, so that was
Yeah,
pretty
very
good, huh?
good, yeah.
Pretty
Very
good. All right.
Deserves another. Yeah, thank you, guys. It's been a while since we've had an in-studio audience, too.
Yeah, that is true.
An in-studio canned audience.
We've literally had to pipe in the clapping.
Mhm.
Okay. This day in history, Keith, I think you actually printed some things out.
Yes, I learned right before the show how to print something.
Man, I missed that over the last year.
Yes, I think everybody else just missed
Do
it.
you want to do it again?
Yeah.
I said again. It's short enough.
And now, Mike and Jack's This Day in History.
Okay, this day in history is brought to you by Sheena Easton. You all know who
Ooh,
Sheena
yeah,
Easton was?
Sheena.
This day, 1998, Sheena Easton files for divorce from her husband of 11 months. Documentary director Timothy Delaran or whatever, Irreconcilable Differences. Now, how can you
Well,
be
in 11 months.
in 11 months? You know,
Now, here's a question for you. How long were they dating and seeing each other before they decided to get married?
I'd say 11 was still the number. I'd say minutes.
11 minutes,
11
right.
minutes, yes. 1989, the
Yeah.
Monkees received their first, their the star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Got it.
1989.
1989. That was the Monkees.
Yeah, the Monkees. Remember the Monkees? I think Mickey Dolenz is the only one left. My favorite drummer of all time, even though he probably never played the drums.
Right.
Boston
Good
Pops
actor.
conductor Arthur Fiedler dies this day, 1979.
79.
We grew up watching the Boston Pops.
Yes,
I always
we did.
liked it. You know, it wasn't quite as serious as the super classical stuff.
Symphony Orchestra.
Yes, and
Yeah.
mom had us watch that all the time. Well, it doesn't say what he died from, but he was 84. That's probably what he died from. Anyway,
A little bit of old
that's-
age, maybe a complication here and there.
Yeah.
So yeah, all right.
Okay.
Keith,
there's a
you
couple
were
of
well
things. Yeah,
prepared.
wow.
Now, a little side note to that whole little segment there is that Keith learned today to what? Copy and paste. We went a little bit small scale today because we copy and pasted into an email,
Right.
and then we printed out that email. The next step is to copy and paste into a Word document
Ooh.
and just print that document.
Don't you have to have Word? I don't think I have any kind
You don't
of
have any.
Microsoft. No.
Yeah, I'm sure you
There's got to be
have.
something basic.
You have a basic word processing on that
Okay.
computer. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So
well,
yeah,
that's-
how about we
that's
give it up for
Wow.
maybe a small round of applause? Yeah. Little pat on the back for the future. Yeah. Okay, stepping into the early 20th century.
Yes, very early. Looks like we're about 1984 now.
Yes.
Remember our cousin Claire? She went to college a year older than me, so I guess 80, 81. She went for something. I remember her bringing out these. She had a computer class or something. She'd always bring out these, just printouts.
Printouts with the dot matrix.
Yeah,
that
but
had
but it was just code or something.
Oh, right.
I-
Computer coding and all
Yeah,
that stuff.
something.
You
I mean,
had to
that was-
know this in order to work your.
Right. It was before Windows and
Yeah.
all that stuff. I'm like, holy cow.
You think how like where computers were back when we were.
Yeah.
Well, when you were in school, they had nothing. But
No.
when I was in 7th or 8th grade is when we first started working with the Commodore PET.
Commodore, yes.
Right. And that was an Apple, right? Apple Commodore.
Was it?
Right. Was it? I don't, maybe not. Maybe not. I was thinking that they were Apple. Maybe not. But, and there's that green screen and these big clunky buttons and the actually kind of like this. But,
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway.
No mouse. Yeah. Just crazy.
I will say, as a side note to that, one of the most best short classes I took in high school was typewriting, keyboard typewriting.
Yes. Yeah.
I learned actually how to anchor my fingers and where to go here and there.
And that's something I always talk about. Now, you were 6 years. Is that 6 year difference? Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
6. Yeah. But had I taken it, and I got my plenty share of thrown in the bushes. If I had taken a typing class in high school, I might not be standing here with you. And then you took it electively, and I'm sure very soon after that, everybody had to take it.
Everybody probably has to take it by now. Yeah.
So yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Let's move on because we're running out of time. Once again, we're going to try to keep the show nice and short. Let's get back to our trivia answers, folks,
let's do that.
and see how we did here. Keith, do we have any responses on these?
I don't see a whole lot. We might have been putting people to sleep so far today,
Yeah,
but
people on snooze, hit that snooze alarm. Okay. In what major Canadian city would you find the Lord Stanley's Gift Monument? What's your guess?
Toronto?
I'm going to say Toronto as well.
I don't know what just came because that's a big hockey.
Ottawa.
Ottawa, I've known that one.
Toronto is where the Hall of Fame is, the Hockey
Okay.
Hall of Fame.
Ottawa.
Or the,
Okay.
yeah.
Now, who was Lord Stanley? Do you know that?
I'm not 100% sure, but I think obviously goes way back to like the beginning of the National Hockey League. And I don't know, maybe he supported, gave money, founded, something like that. That's a very good.
Yes.
I know, obviously something to do with. And this is actually timely because the Stanley Cup was just won the other day by the Lightning, the Tampa Bay Lightning, for the second year in a row. Another Tampa Bay team won. Who won the
Okay.
Super Bowl? Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Right.
You know what's going on.
Yeah.
It's just like, anyway,
Now, how do they keep the ice frozen down there?
I don't know. Well, this time of year, we had to keep it frozen anyway
Or how do you keep the ice rinks from collapsing?
on themselves.
That wasn't tasteful.
That
though.
was in poor
It was
taste.
in poor taste, yes.
What is the only Canadian province without a natural border? I'm going to say Alberta.
Okay.
Okay, let's find out here.
Saskatchewan, my favorite province, just because it's silly name. Saskatchewan.
That's an awesome name. Okay, so my answer is going to be the same for this one. The Canadian province of Quebec is bordered to the west by which other province? And I'm going to say Alberta.
Okay.
You want to go with Saskatchewan?
No, I just
Ontario.
I'm gonna have to do some. I don't even know how many provinces there are.
All right.
And it's weird that Canada is an English. They were English.
Yep.
Part of them's French, and all their I guess that would be the same as a state, although they're very big. They're provinces, which is French.
Right.
England doesn't have, they have counties and things like that,
Yeah.
but they don't. They're provinces.
Yeah, Canada is an interesting. Well, anyway, all right. Originally from Quebec, what food comes from the local French slang word for a mess?
I'm going to deal with that poutine. The French fries with all the stuff on it. It's a real popular.
Oh,
Yeah. I thought that was Louisiana, but I think I'm going to go that.
Oh,
yeah!
Nice.
All right.
I could not think of that at all.
I never had that up until like a year ago. The Sterling Pig. Actually, I had some last week. They do a great poutine.
Oh,
It's
okay,
yeah, really
yeah,
nice.
maybe I'll
Their brisket gravy, and it's a
check
meal.
it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep,
Right.
It's
Wow. Good for you, man.
No kidding.
Good for you. All
I'm
right.
awake.
Keith,
Is that it?
I think that's it. Yeah, that is it for our trivia. And that is it for our show. We are right up against the clock here at 9:36.
Yeah. Okay. So that's we've gone longer, but we've
yeah.
I don't think we've gone shorter than 40 minutes. So, but we went right on it. It's good to have you back in the studio, Joel.
Yeah,
Let's
it's
do it again.
great to be back in the studio.
It's kind of neat doing the, if you're doing something, you're up at the cabin or something like that. But it's nice having the, being in the studio. So thanks once again for stopping by, and we're going to do it next week. I don't know. I didn't know. Actually, I had for some reason, I was really tired, and I was at my friend Barbara's house, and she said, "Are you doing the show tomorrow?" I'm like, I don't know. I hope not. I get home and I hop on the couch and I look at my text, and there's my brother Joel. Hey, you up for a show? It's like I'm always up for hanging out with my brother. So
that's funny. That's funny.
But anyway, I'm glad we did it, and I'm glad everybody that stopped by did stop by. Joe, what are you going to bed, Joe? It's early for you. Joe probably gets up at he's always been an early bird.
Yeah,
early bird and a late bird.
It might be nap time.
Yeah, it might be nap time
at this
Joe.
point.
So anyway, everybody, thanks for stopping by. And remember, you deserve a thought of your own.
So be in touch to learn, laugh, and live.
And we'll see you next time on the Smack and Jack.
Smack and
Morning
Jack
Show.
live. All right. Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
See ya.
Jack up your heels, smack check it out, smack jack up your heels, smack jack it up, smack in the face. Jack up your heels, smack in the face.